And it starts, and there goes the water turning it. Look at that. The belts are running.
Yep.
So y'all check this out. What's your name?
Eddie.
You're
Sciple.
so a Sciple.
Yeah,
I call it Siple's meal. So a Sciple meal.
Bible, just leave off the DI.
So this is Eddie Sciple. You're the one that owns it now, right?
Yeah.
So he saw me here, so he just pulled up, and so we're about to get a really cool tour right here, or whatever. Get to see it. This is where it's all made at right here, and look at all the dust and stuff. Cause you ship this stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Don't you?
I ship it all over.
You ship it all over the place, cause Huck's there in Columbus. They use your grits and all.
Cornmeal.
Yeah, a lot of people up north that watch my stuff. My stuff gets watched around the world.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, all around the world. They don't have no idea what grits are and everything.
I just ground, so I haven't cleaned up. I sift out of it.
Oh right. Oh, and I'm gonna get some stuff while I'm here too to take back with me and everything. So while we're here, just kind of give us a rundown real quick of how it works and all, because I mean there's people that have never seen this or anything.
This is your rocks, your meal.
And that's what does the grinding in there.
And the bottom rock. And the top rock turns. That's called your runner. Your bottom one is your bed rock.
Right.
It's stationary. The top one weighs 1,600 pounds, and that's what grinds it.
How long will the rock last?
These have been running about 130 years.
So they've been running that long.
Yeah,
so you ain't got. Is it like a special rock or anything?
Yeah, it's a special rock. I'm not sure what kind, but it's a special. It's almost like granite, but it's not granite. These come from upper state New York, out of a quarry when they built. The mill was actually built in Newnan, Georgia.
Okay.
R.D. Coal and Company. You can still see it written there on the side. And we bought another mill exactly like it that I've got over there in storage. So the rocks would, this wood just picks up. We were looking for rocks one time, and Paul Harvey helped find them. He put it on his broadcast, and that's how we found them.
So does when the corn is going in there, I guess it kind of works as like a lubricant on the rocks so they don't wear them out and everything?
No, the rocks don't touch.
They don't touch.
You keep them apart.
The
only way they touch is if you run out of corn, which you try not to run out. You always leave corn in it.
You keep feeding it then.
It goes in the center, and when it goes in, it's turning, so it works to the outside.
Okay.
The farther to the outside, the finer it gets. And of course, it comes out right here. That's your finished product. Yeah.
That's your meal right there.
I've got a long belt. This lever is hooked to the water wheel. It's a turbine wheel under the water. It was put in January of 1880. I've been using it ever since. So when you pull that lever, it opens the gates on the water wheel, lets the water go through and spin it. And you walk up here, you got a long belt.
Dude, this is like going back in time right here. Oh, look, there's the belt right there. Cool.
And that connects. It's a 1-to-1 pulley. You got a pulley under your rocks, hooked to your rocks, and then you got one out here over the water wheel.
So is that pulley right there, is it running just on a wooden with some oil in it then and everything, or is it actually a bearing right there?
No, it's no bearing. It's just sitting in a collet.
Okay. Yep.
That's just a idler more or less.
Yeah.
And then your water wheel is directly below this pulley in the water house.
Okay.
Of course, you can't see it.
It's all.
Yeah. But when I pull that lever, that rod right there is hooked to that lever, and when I pull it, it'll start turning. You know,
I got you. And then the mill starts running in there.
Yeah, actually, I mean, all I got to do is I'll grind a little bit for you since you.
Okay.
Everything's ready. This levels off with a pond when you pull your water house gate, so it stays level. And,
so do you had to do much upkeep on all this stuff right here or anything, or
it's a good bit, but it's not as much as you would think. As long as that water's on it, it pretty well protects
keeps it. Yeah.
It needs reflowing. I got some slats over there we put down.
So when was the last time y'all ran the sawmill right there?
1962.
62. Because I took some I walked up here and I saw that first, and I took some pictures of it, and That's cool right there. There we go.
They used to saw for a lumber company back up in Louisville, Mississippi, Fair Lumber Company.
Yep.
And it was also a cotton gin. It was a 2-story building, had a cotton gin in the top. And we had a tornado in 1973 that blew the 2-story building down. So they just had volunteers building back, and they just built a 1-story.
Okay.
And there wasn't gin and cotton. They quit gin and cotton in 1955. So they didn't put the cotton gin back. But there's pictures in there of the old building, the 2-story building.
Right.
This shaft right here, I just put in to keep. If by chance that water wheel started turning,
Kind of like a brake on it, keep it.
That's just an emergency
Yeah.
to make sure. If it starts turning, of course your rocks wouldn't turn, but it'd throw your belt off, and you just sit there and run and run and run.
Get all them old saw blades sitting up there on the wall up there. Old crosscut saws. Doggone it, the cast iron pots you got right there too. Holy smokes. Y'all used to do a lot of cooking and stuff here too?
No,
or?
that's
They
just some of the
okay.
antique.
I got you.
Now the grind, of course, I pour up.
So where do you get your corn from then?
Well, they used to grow it. I had a guy growing for me in Winston County, right above here.
Right.
But he's stopped, so now I have to get it out of Kentucky.
Out of Kentucky.
I got a load now I'm waiting on with my trailer. Supposed to be delivering it to, I get them to deliver it to Kemper Farm Supply in Scuba.
Okay.
And let me drop it off over there, and then I'll go get it. This is my first load from Kentucky, but that's the closest white corn I found. Nobody grows white. Not enough to supply, you know. They'll grow it for their own use or for groceries or something.
So that first part right there just gets the big stuff out of it.
Now, if I'm grinding for you, I get a toll. This is my toll dish. Some old crushed yellow in there. Just
okay.
But if I pour up a half a bushel, that's a half a bushel measure. This is a half a gallon.
Okay.
So it's an 1/8, just like they've always got. That's what that sign says, no price increase. If you bring your own corn, I pour that up. I get this cup full and throw it in there to grind later. That's what I pay for grinding.
I got you.
That's the toll, and that's what that sign's referring to. So you got you pour your corn up. This raises your top rock up. Right when you stop, you set it down. So you raise it up, it'll start creeping. Well, I thought it would. And then you pull this lever, and this opens up the.
And it starts. And there goes the water turning it. Look at that. The belts are running.
Yep.
All powered by water. That is so cool. Look at it coming out right there.
And you adjust it. You need to adjust it.
Right.
Yeah, that's about right. This will make it finer chords, but
That's sharp right there.
that water wheel, I think I told you earlier, was put in 1880, January of 1880. And it's been running ever since.
Right after the Civil War. Not long after the Civil War. The Civil War ended in '65.
The mill used to set out over the creek at a 90-degree angle to the dam. And in 1880, they tore it down and built it like it is now.
Okay.
It was a 2-story. That's the pictures of the old building. The second building up there, the 2-story building. That's the one that tornado blew. Now this is when they were actually gin and cotton. You see the press stuck out the front?
Okay.
They had already removed it here. This was taken in September and the tornado hit in November. That's what it looked like when the tornado hit. That's the doorsteps, that's the rock, so it didn't affect the mill, it's just the building.
That thing will sit there and run, don't cost you a dime of electricity to run it. That's so cool. So he just said he can grind when he's got the water like he does right now to grind 32 bushels an hour. That's pumping out a lot of meal and stuff right there right quick. He can fry a lot of fish with that, man.
Yeah.
And
a lot of cornbread.
So you still have the Opry here?
Well, we do. We're closed now because of the coronavirus.
Right. That's right.
We do it on the 1st and the 3rd Saturday nights of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And
everybody comes down, has a big time.
Yeah, we have a band, and then anybody that wants to play can come and play. And
all right, so you can Google this on, you know, you can Google it online, and you can look up all the information on it and everything. What about to order your stuff? Is it right there online too?
No, just call me.
Just call you. Okay, and you ship it like that,
yeah,
then. Okay.
And send them the bill.
I got you. So, okay.
And of course, you can get my number off of any of the packages, but
okay. Well, that's pretty slick right there. I was just walking around, and I'm gonna put the first part of the video. I'm gonna put it after this right here. I was walking around filming out there, and he saw me. And I guess you live right here then. Right. Okay, and he come over here, and so that worked out. That was worth my time. Stop. Oh, you even got a sewer to sew the bags up with right there. This is so cool. So cool. So here's some of his flour right here. Right there, little bags up right there.
Flour, there's your calendar.
Okay.
Started in 19 because it has a deer season,
right.
But it goes.
That's right. Cool. So those balls right there, what do you use them to? What do you use them for?
And this is a rock that came out of Maine, off the coast up there. This is a Confederate, 12-pound Confederate cannonball. It's got 12.
Oh yeah, I see it right there.
And that's a mold, half of a mold for about an 8-pound cannonball. And that was found down below Meridian. A woman brought this to my daddy. She said on the coast up there in Maine, they was from marble size to basketball, where that ocean rolls them.
Oh hey. And
she'd always bring some back for her flower garden.
So you still grind. You're open on the sign says on Saturdays from 8 to 12.
That's when I'm open for the public.
And that's when you're open for the public. So if you want to come and actually watch this in person right here, that's the time. It just so happened to luck out that he come up here while I was here.
I grind all during the week, but it might be at night and all of that.
Right.
I'm off. I teach school. Scuba.
Okay.
So we're out.
So you're out right now.
We're on the line. So
yeah. The whole scales right there.
I'm here more than normal.
This is one of those places that you could walk in and look and come here probably 100 times and you probably would miss something.
Yeah. I see stuff now that
each time
that was the first Ciples. Our family bought the mill about 1850. That was the first. That was John and Helen Sciple. Okay. They bought the mill about 1850, and we've had it ever since. 2 or 3 families had it before our family bought it. This is the watermarks where the water's been. This was in February this year.
Really?
In January, it got up to the floor 6 times. It normally does it a couple of times a year. It got up 6 times in the first 2 months, but it has been up to right here. That was in '79. That was in 2009. That was in '83, and then 14 was the next. But it gets in here on this floor, like I said, a couple of times a year, but it's already been in here twice, and we just, it got here twice. That quick.
Wow. Does it hurt anything when it gets up in here like that?
No, because all this I can pick up real quick.
Okay.
Get it up here. Now, if it gets up here and you've got a bunch of corn, it could ruin your corn.
I got you.
I was because it was raining every day, so I put my corn in a trailer, my last load I bought.
Wow.
So I didn't have it over here. I didn't have to move it. But it didn't hurt anything. You just have to take a day or 2 to dry out. If it gets on your rocks, then you got to take your rocks apart and get the wet meal out. Let it dry and start back.
So, Mr. Eddie, I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Give me a little quick tour like this, impromptu tour, and showing me all this. My subscribers they'll enjoy this, and they'll like this right here, because this is just.
I keep meal outside, so if people come and I'm not here, they can buy it anytime they want.
That's right. Got an honor box out there. I seen that when I showed that when I first come up here, and all. And
talking about the sawmill, this was one of the first blades they used. It's a homemade.
Yep.
But it used to be
it just up and down like
but it was on an offset shaft. It would do like this, and it'd move it up every time. And my grandpa told me, you know, I've heard him say his daddy, this was back in the 1800s when they ran, early 19, that his daddy said you could start a big log, go eat dinner, and come back before the plank.
It would still be sawing on it. Oh,
it was better than doing it by hand, you know.
Goodness. I'm gonna finish my video with this right here. I love this right here. This is. So here's his box when you open it. He's got the. Yeah, well, I'm talking to the camera now. That's all right. There's his yellow cornmeal, and he's got white flour, and then he's got a fish fry mix, and he's got white cornmeal right there. Is what he's doing. So I'm getting a couple bags of that, and then he's got the grits. I got his last 2 bags of grits right there. He had right there. And so if he's not here, you just get it. There's the prices right there. And then there's where you drop the money in it right there. So he's opened a little store for us. We get to go in here. So this is where y'all do the opera at, is right in here then. Yeah. I got old church fuse. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's deep. I didn't realize it went back that far.
We ran out of room pretty quick, so.
Y'all have pretty good crowds here when you...
Decent crowds. We used to have big crowds, but not as big now, but we still have good crowds. Occasionally we'll have a cooking like fish fry.
Oh yeah.
Barbecue, we'll have a big crowd. We actually came over here last night and about 4 of us got together and played some music. We've stopped our regular music till after this virus is over.
Right. Old virus got everything kind of messed up.
It's getting worse. I mean, as far as stuff that they're doing.
This is so cool.
This was an old country store. My grandpa ran it till he died in 1986, and just a storage building. And my daddy had a band all his life, and they had about quit playing. And they got started back and needed a place to play, and so he opened this up, and we made an opera house out of it. That's my grandson right here. He's 11 years old. He's a piano player. He wasn't but about 8 there, but that's at Jerry Lee Lewis's Cafe in Memphis on Beale Street. And that's Jerry Lee Lewis's bass player, Ray Gann, was playing with him. And but when he goes up there, they let him get up and perform and
play.
Folks go crazy, you know, and he likes to play that boogie woogie Jerry Lee Lewis type stuff.
11 years old.
Yeah, he's 11 now. He's been playing since I guess he was about 6 when he started playing the piano. But he can tear it up now.
Somebody teach him, or did he teach himself?
Well, my sister plays the piano. She showed him a few pointers, and from that he
just took off, huh?
He's taking lessons now to learn to read the music, but it's hard to get him to read the book. He'd rather just play.
So some of y'all who want to dig a little bit, there's Mike Rowe right there. This was actually featured on Dirty Jobs back in, you said 2010? Yeah.
The name of the episode is Animal Relocator. Dirty Jobs, Animal Relocator.
Okay.
The second part of the show, we went out in Texas and did some moving deer. So if you YouTube it, pull up Animal Relocator. Okay. This was my mom, my daddy, and then when they started playing here back in the 50s. This calendar that's hanging up is still on the wall in that bathroom. It wasn't a bathroom then, just a corner. It's still back there. Wow. So they made the full circle. They started here and they finished here. He passed away in 15.
How old was he then at that time?
He was 88.
88.
Yeah, that was a picture and that's actually signed by Jerry Lee Lewis. I got him. We're friends with his son, Lee. That was in the cafe, and I snapped. They was running a video behind it. They cut the sound off, and I didn't even realize it, you know, till I looked at my picture later that he was in the background. So he liked the picture. But we went to see him in Jackson last year before he had a stroke, Jerry Lee. Right after that, and I took Seth to see him, and So Jerry Lee's son, took it back there and got him to sign it for him. The pen wasn't writing good, but you can see.
Mm-hmm, I see that.
Then it started writing over here, but of course that's a copy. I don't put the real picture out. That's it.
Yeah.
So the real one's a little bit.
You can tell it's old right there. So I happened to see the sign for it, and I thought, heck man, I'm gonna whip in here real quick. There's a guy over there fishing, see him in the swing over there. It's like he's about to fall in. Oh, they got an old sawmill right here that run off the thing right there and stuff. And you can see where the water's running right there. Check out this old sawmill right here. Ran off the water. That's cool as heck. I love stuff like this. Kind of like going back in time. This is Tiger Creek here, I believe is what it is. Or Running Tiger Creek. Y'all can dig it up. There's a lot of y'all who love to look at stuff that I post where you can see it. I'm gonna get some pictures of that sawmill there real quick.